Hey everyone! So today I want to discuss. Fuck, learn how to talk. Today I want to discuss the Shudder original film, and that is What Josiah Saw. Stars Nick Stahl and Robert Patrick, and this tells the story of the Graham family: Eli, Mary, and Tommy, and it's about their father Josiah. And hey, you know right from the jump that there's something not right with this family, and because this has sort of got that Southern Gothic vibe to it, you know there's going to be some type of physical slash sex abuse going on. And of course, that is what is definitely going on in this family. You find that Tommy still lives with his father, and Josiah still has a lot of control over his son. At one point, he finds a bunch of, I guess, porn mags. They're not really all that well defined. Josiah just kind of holds them up. I'm assuming there's some type of porn mags, or they're like a Sears catalog with the lingerie section dog-eared or something. I don't know. Well, anyways, the Sears catalog. Nobody gets that. Sears is gone. Fucking Sears. Anyways, and Josiah has Tommy like masturbate. He forces him to, and you just know that this Josiah's a piece of shit. And yeah, this movie's just about sort of like the traumatized lives of Josiah's children. Mary's married, and they want her and her husband want to adopt, and they're struggling through that because her husband's always worried because Mary seems kind of uneven because of the abuse that she suffered, of course, and he's always kind of afraid of her, so he can't really speak his mind. He doesn't feel very comfortable in the relationship because he's always worried that if he gets angry at Mary, she's going to end up killing herself because she always seems to be walking the razor's edge. And I never got the vibe that Mary was suicidal. I think Mary was a lot of things, but suicidal wasn't one of them. And then it tells the story of Eli, played by Nick Stahl, who he did some time for having sex with a minor. Now, according to him, she was 16. She was drinking in a bar. He thought she was an adult, and he did his time for that. Except now he's sort of been branded as a pedophile sex offender. And I don't think he is, or if he is, that is certainly not what is put on display throughout the course of this film. Um, as a matter of fact, he ends up saving that little girl that was missing, that he was accused of abducting at the start of the film. He ends up finding her and taking her to the police. So I don't think he's a pedophile at all. I think he had sex with a minor without knowing it, and fuck. Men, guys gotta stop thinking with their dicks. If they stop thinking with their dicks, statutory rape would disappear. And statutory rape wouldn't be a fucking problem if every time a guy saw a chick, he didn't try to fuck her, right? And you're in a bar, some good looking younger chick there, yeah, she could have snuck her way in. You bang her, you could end up going to prison for that. So use your head. Use your fucking head. But, anyways, his life's a pile of shit. And Tommy, you see him at the very start of the film. He sees this little kid and this chick walk in to looks like a hardware store, and he follows them in, and he kind of waves at the kid, and the kid kind of gives him this sort of like, who the fuck are you look. And we find out at the end of the film that I believe is his ex-wife and his son, who they have a number of restraining orders against him because Tommy isn't right in the head. I just love this movie. I loved the tone. I loved the attitude. I loved how it was shot. I believed the characters. I believed their trauma. I love Robert Patrick. Um, he plays a really good bad guy in this, and I love how the the family dynamic still holds really well. Like it's everything to these people, despite the trauma and the sort of fallout that they've had to suffer as a result of being in the Graham family. They're all still very much together, and you find out just how close Eli and Mary are at the very end of the film. I didn't see that coming. And Tommy, of course, ends up going crazy and killing everybody. And it is also discovered that Josiah, the father, Robert Patrick, he doesn't exist. They killed him, the three of them, back when they were kids. They'd had enough. He burned Tommy's face with an iron. He beat the shit out of Eli with a belt all the time. And he was consistently raping Mary. So they'd had enough, and they did him in. I imagine that was a ways after their mom chose to commit suicide. I think we're led to believe that throughout the course of the film or at the end of the movie, sorry, that the mom killed herself when she discovered that Mary was pregnant as the result of her husband impregnating her. And that's when she couldn't take it anymore, so she kills herself. This movie is heavy. This movie's not a lot of fun, but as of this point now, I've watched it 4 or 5 times, so I really liked it. I like I said, I believed the characters. The setting was perfect. The attitude, the weight, how it was shot, everything about this movie was beautiful. It is a little on the quiet side. Not a lot happens, but if you see it through to the end, the revelations of the weight of the trauma, it becomes very apparent, and it shows how traumatic events can kind of cause people to sort of turn out sideways, because Mary and Eli are sleeping together, and that's one of the reasons why Tommy ends up killing them, to sort of help them pay for their sins. But yeah, so this movie, although I will, on one hand, I will say it was a lot of fun, like I really enjoyed it. Technically speaking, this movie is not fun at all. This movie is ugly and it's heavy, but I did love it. I've watched it a handful of times. So yeah, I am going to go. So thank you so much for hanging out with me. Thank you so much for hanging out with me while I discussed the Shudder original film, What Josiah Saw. If you liked this review, like always, don't forget to do something nice for someone. I'm going to go. Have a good night. I just wanted to say thank you for making it through the entire video. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to remind everyone one more time, even though I've probably already done this in the video that you just watched, to please click the like button as well as the subscribe button, because it helps this channel grow. And thank you for hitting like and subscribe, and we will see you guys really soon.